Our journey continues, this time to the southern part of Kyrgyzstan. From Bishkek, we had to enter Uzbekistan. Then we entered Kyrgyzstan again, and went straight to our next destination, the city of Osh. Flowing through the city is Kara Darya, or the Great River. The city of Osh is said to be around 2,500 years old, about the same age as Samarkand in Uzbekistan. This second largest city in Kyrgyzstan has a population of 200,000 people. During the Silk Road era, Osh was a popular stopover for traders. This city was so important that there were 6 banks operating here at one time to cater for the businessmen who travelled from the West to China or vice versa. In fact, the importance of this city even traces back long before the Silk Road existed. It is believed that the Prophet Solomon, one of the great prophets of Islam, had a brief stay near this city a long, long time ago. The site is said to be located on top of a hill, not far from the Kara River. Because of this historical reason, the locals have named this hill Solomon's Hill. According to legend, the Prophet Solomon had stopped here a few times during his exploration trips. The legend says that he sat here for prayers so many times that the rock turned into the shape of his knee. A shelter then was built to preserve the indented rock. The history of this building itself is also interesting. Frequent visitors claim that genies originally built this place, after receiving orders from the Prophet Solomon. However, nobody knows whether the story is true or not. Another version says that a local, by the name of Babur, actually took the initiative to erect this memorial. The dented parts of the rock have the same size as a human's kneecap, surprisingly. It is believed that each time the Prophet Solomon prostrated himself to God, the dent became deeper and deeper. Other than a nearby mosque, this historic site is the most visited site in the whole of Osh. Visitors who comprise locals and from other parts of West Asia have to withstand a 40-minute climb by foot in order to visit the site. The climb can sometimes be risky, however this does not deter these visitors from coming, including the disabled. 73-year-old Ibrahim Ahmad is currently the caretaker for this site. He says the job is handed down from one generation to the next. He's most happy when he sees many people visiting the site. To him, it is a sign that the Muslims are still very concerned with their religion. He says that this building was once destroyed in 1963 during the communist period. However, in 1989 it was rebuilt with support from donations. This building, however, only accommodates 15 visitors at a time. Whether it is true or not that this site has connections with the Prophet Solomon is still a mystery. To most, the mystery is unimportant. To them, what really matters is that this place is serene and very secluded for them to get closer to Allah. About 1 kilometre from Solomon's Hill stands a mosque that is believed to have a long historical connection. Not much has been written about this mosque. The only source of information is the caretaker, Imam Jan Abdullah. He says this 700-year-old mosque is known as the Abdullah Khan's Mosque. During the Silk Road era, it was one of the most important meeting places in Central Asia. During the Bolshevik rule in 1917, the Russian government ordered this place to be closed, and Muslims could no longer practice their religion openly. This mosque was then converted by the military into a place where artificial limbs were manufactured for war victims. Those days are gone. Today, its functions have returned to normal. 5 times a day, worshippers will gather and set congregational prayers behind an imam. Since 1943, this mosque has been handed back to the Muslims to practice their religion freely. Then in the 60s, once again it was ordered to be closed by the Soviets, and it was changed into a museum. When Kyrgyzstan achieved its independence in 1991, Abdullah Khan Mosque was given back to the Muslims again. Abdullah Khan Mosque is now the social centre for the local society to manage their own well-being, as well as to organise social functions. Commonly carried out there are wedding ceremonies. For this couple, a new life has just begun. In their hands lay the future of a next generation of Kyrgyz Muslims. From there we proceed to the Osh town centre. Here lies another historical mosque. Different from the remote Abdullah Khan Mosque at Solomon Hill, this one is busy with activities. This 200-year-old Muhammad Yusuf al-Bayhaqi Mosque is also known as Al-Baqi Mosque. It was under massive restoration work in 1990, and extensions were made to accommodate ever-increasing worshippers. The original part of the Al-Baqi Mosque can be seen clearly in the prayer hall. Its ceiling displays the architecture of mid-Asia, similar to those found in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan and Western China. For the Imam, Abdullah Muhammad, his major role there is to ensure that the younger generation understands and is steadfast to Islam. His sons, Abdulahad, Tarmizi and Abdurrahim, intend to be knowledgeable in religion just like their father. Osh is also famous for the heritage of past Kyrgyzstan leaders. This is the Uzgan archaeological complex, 55 kilometers from the city centre. This tower is among the historical structures that are still intact. It was originally 40 meters tall, but after restoration work it now stands at only 17 meters. Nevertheless, to get to the top isn't easy. One has to climb hundreds of steps, in a narrow, dark and winding path. The original function of this tower is not well documented. Because of its strategic location, many think it was used by the military as an observation post. From the top, a demolished foundation of a building can clearly be seen. Hence, there is a theory saying that this was actually the site of a mosque, and this tower was its minaret. The mosque was, however, destroyed in 1926. "900 years ago, the Karahan Muslim dynasty had made Osh their centre of administration. In the 11th century, the Karahan dynasty was one of the most influential in Central Asia. So far, this minaret, the mosque ruin, and a royal mausoleum are the only historical evidence of Muslim heritage that could be found here. This mausoleum, built in 1126, was meant specifically for the Karahan family members. Because of its historical significance, every measure has been taken to preserve this 900 years old site. The building is divided into three: the northern, middle and southern sections. From Osh we then proceed to the Andijan province. We were told that over there lies the tomb of the Prophet Jonah. Not only that, Prophet Ayub was also said to have been there to get a cure for his chronic skin disease. Andijan is located at the border of Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Before this, we were not aware that there were sites that had connections with prophets of Islam in this region. To get to the exact locations, we have to depend totally on the local inhabitants. From Andijan we proceed to Jalalabad, a fertile region to the west of Kyrgyzstan. Located here is a spring in which the water is believed to have medicinal values. The locals believe that the Prophet Ayub was once cured from his skin disease after drinking from the spring water. The area is now protected by a fence. Only a select few are allowed in. The only thing that survives here is this strange worm-like creature. It is common for some Muslims to attach unusual places to prophets. We were once told that another spring was also visited by the Prophet Ayub, and it was in Turkey. Every day hundreds of people from all over Central Asia come here to sample the water. These visitors believe the water has the medicinal value to cure diseases related to the skin, joints and bones. It may be scientifically true. According to research, the water contains 12 minerals that are good for the health. Nearby, on top of a hill, there is a cave. It is said that it also had some connection with Prophet Ayyub. According to legend, Prophet Ayyub stayed by himself in the cave while recovering. No one knows how far the truth is regarding this legend. But for us at least, we were sure that the people here still have high regards towards the prophets of Islam. Jalalabad is our last destination in Central Asia. Our journey through Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan gave us an opportunity to understand the position of Islam and its role in moulding the history of this region. It is clear to us that the Muslims of this part of the world still need the support from Muslims elsewhere, especially in propagating Islamic understanding. In the next episodes, we travel into China. Islam is a fast-growing religion in this most populated country in the world. Today, 20 million Muslims live here among the 1.2 billion people. The acceptance of Islam as a way of life by the Chinese, since it entered China 13 centuries ago, is proof that Islam is a dynamic and universal religion.